I'm 97 years old, and I'm about to tell you the truth that every ambitious person desperately needs to hear, but will spend their entire life avoiding. Your career will never hold your hand when you're dying. I know this because I'm lying in a bed right now, in a room that costs $4,000 a month, surrounded by nurses who are paid to care for me, and I haven't had a real visitor in 6 weeks. I was the youngest female executive at my company in 1962. I broke glass ceilings. I made more money than most men in my industry. I was featured in magazines. I had a corner office with a view of the city. And now I'm 97 years old, and I would trade every single achievement, every award, every promotion, every zero in my bank account for one person who actually wants to be here with me. Not because they're paid to be, because they love me, but there's nobody left who loves me. And that's not bad luck. That's not tragedy. That's a choice I made over and over again for 60 years. Let me tell you exactly when I destroyed my life. It was March 3rd, 1968, a Sunday. I remember because it was raining, that cold kind of rain that makes everything gray. My daughter Elizabeth was 7 years old. She had a school play that afternoon. She was playing a sunflower. She'd been practicing her one line for weeks. "I grow toward the light," she'd say over and over, standing in the living room with her arms stretched up. I was supposed to be there. I promised I would be there. But that morning, my boss called. There was a crisis with a client in Chicago, a major account. They needed me on a flight by noon. I stood in my kitchen, holding that phone, looking at my daughter eating her cereal in her little yellow costume, and I made a calculation. The play was just a school thing. There would be other plays. But this client, this account, this was my career. This was everything I'd worked for. So I knelt down next to Elizabeth and I said, "Mommy has to go to work, sweetheart, but Daddy will be there, and I'll be at the next one, I promise." She didn't cry. That's what I remember most. She just looked at me with those big brown eyes and nodded, like she already knew. Like at 7 years old, she'd already learned that Mommy's work was more important than her. I caught my flight. I saved the account. I got a bonus. And I missed my daughter being a sunflower. You want to know the worst part? I didn't even feel guilty. Not really. I told myself I was being a good provider. I told myself she'd understand when she was older. I told myself this was just one play. But it wasn't just one play. It was never just one thing. After Elizabeth's father and I divorced in 1971, I made a promise to myself. I told myself I would find balance. I would be there for the important moments. I would make sure Elizabeth knew she was loved. And you know what? I meant it. I absolutely meant it. But I broke that promise before the ink was dry on my divorce papers. Because here's what nobody tells you about ambition. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't compromise. It just takes and takes and takes. And it makes you believe you're winning while it steals everything that actually matters. I thought I was building a legacy. I was building a prison. Here's what took me 97 years to understand, and I need you to really hear this. The lie isn't that you can have it all. Everyone knows that's a lie. The real lie, the dangerous lie, is that you'll have time to fix it later. You tell yourself, once I get this promotion, I'll slow down. You tell yourself, once we hit this revenue target, I'll take that vacation. You tell yourself, the kids are young now, they won't remember. I'll make it up to them when they're older. They remember everything. And there is no making it up. There's just the accumulation of absence, day after day, year after year, until one day you look up and realize you're a stranger to the people who share your blood. Elizabeth stopped asking me to come to things by the time she was 12. She just stopped asking. And I told myself that meant she understood. She understood all right. She understood perfectly. Let me tell you about the moments that haunt me. In 1974, Elizabeth was 13. She called me at the office crying. Some girls at school had been cruel to her. She needed her mother. I was in the middle of a presentation. I told her I'd call her back. I didn't call her back until 9 p.m. By then, she said she was fine. She didn't want to talk about it. We never talked about it. In 1982, she got married. I was there, technically. I sat in the front row. I smiled for photos. But the night before, I'd been on a conference call until midnight, and I'd missed the rehearsal dinner. In her wedding photos, I'm smiling, but my eyes are somewhere else. You can see it if you look closely. I was there, but I wasn't there. That's the cruelest kind of absence. Physical presence with emotional abandonment. She had a son in 1985, my grandson, Thomas. I was in Tokyo when he was born. I'd known her due date for months, but there was this deal, this opportunity, and I told myself, babies don't come exactly on their due dates anyway. Thomas came exactly on his due date. I met my grandson when he was 3 weeks old. Elizabeth handed him to me, and I remember she said, he doesn't know you yet. She didn't say it cruelly. She said it as a fact, a simple, devastating fact. He doesn't know you yet. He never really did. You're sitting there right now, and I know exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's sad, but that was the 60s and 70s. Things are different now. We have work-life balance. We have remote work. We have boundaries. You're wrong. The tools have changed. The lie hasn't. You're still checking your email at dinner. You're still taking calls during your kids' soccer games. You're still telling yourself that this project, this deadline, this quarter is the exception. It's never the exception. It becomes the rule. And you're still telling yourself the most dangerous lie of all, that you're different, that you'll know when to stop, that your family understands, that you're doing this for them. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you, for your ego, for the validation, for the identity you've built around being important, being needed, being successful. I know because I told myself the same lies for 60 years. Do you have children? Are they young? I need you to understand something. Right now, today, they're forming their understanding of what love looks like. And if love looks like the back of your head while you stare at a laptop, that's what they'll expect for the rest of their lives. If love looks like not now, daddy's busy, they'll spend their adult years chasing people who are too busy for them. If love looks like an empty chair at their recital, they'll believe they're not worth showing up for. You are programming their hearts right now, every single day. My daughter is 64 years old now. We talk on the phone once a month maybe, polite conversations, surface level. She asks about my health. I ask about her garden. We hang up and I don't hear from her for another 30 days. She's not punishing me. She's not angry. She just doesn't know me, and I don't know her. We're strangers who share DNA. And that didn't happen because of one missed play. It happened because of 1,000 missed moments that I told myself didn't matter. They all mattered. There's a young man who works at this facility. His name is Marcus. He's maybe 32, 33. He checks on me sometimes. Not because it's his job, but because he's kind. Last week he was telling me about his life. He has a little girl, 4 years old. He's working 2 jobs, trying to build something, trying to get ahead. He showed me a photo of her on his phone. Beautiful child, big smile. His whole face lit up when he talked about her. Then his phone buzzed. Work. He looked at it, looked at me, apologized, and stepped out to take the call. And I wanted to grab his arm. I wanted to shake him. I wanted to scream, "Don't do what I did. Don't miss it. Don't let them take it from you." But I didn't say anything, because who am I to give advice? I'm just a dying old woman who got everything she thought she wanted and lost everything she actually needed. But I'm telling you now, what I couldn't tell him. That little girl is going to be 32 in the blink of an eye, and she's going to remember whether Daddy was there or whether Daddy was always on the phone. Choose carefully. Choose now. If I could go back and give 30-year-old me one piece of advice, one phrase to tape to my bathroom mirror, it would be this: presence is the only gift that matters. Presence is the only gift that matters. Presence is the only gift that matters. Not the money you provide, not the lifestyle you fund, not the future you're building. Presence. Being there. Actually being there with your eyes and your attention and your whole self. That's the only thing they'll remember. That's the only thing you'll remember. I made millions of dollars in my career. I couldn't tell you what I spent any of it on, but I can tell you exactly what Elizabeth's face looked like when she was 7 in her sunflower costume, nodding at me as I told her I was leaving. That's what stays. The moments of presence and the moments of absence. The money disappears, the achievements fade, the presence remains. I've been alive for 35 and 405 days. I spent approximately 23,000 of those days working. Meetings, calls, flights, presentations, emails, You know how many of those work days I remember distinctly? Maybe 15. You know how many moments with my daughter I remember? Every single one. And there weren't enough. There weren't nearly enough. I remember teaching her to ride a bike. I remember her laughing at the dinner table once when she was 9, laughing so hard milk came out of her nose. I remember dancing with her in our kitchen to some song on the radio. I have maybe 20 of those memories, maybe 30 if I really search. And I've been alive for almost a century. That's the math of a wasted life. I'm 97 years old. I probably won't see 98. And I'm spending my last months in a beautiful room with professional care, with every physical comfort money can buy, and with a loneliness so profound it feels like drowning. So I'm begging you, not asking, begging. Leave work early today, just today. Go home and be with whoever loves you. Put your phone in a drawer and look your children in the eyes while they tell you about their day. Call your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, whoever you've been too busy for, and tell them you love them with your full attention. Stop building the career that will forget you the moment you're gone. Start building the family that's trying to love you right now. Because the corner office I dreamed about for 30 years, someone else sits there now. They don't even know my name. But my daughter, who just wanted her mother to watch her be a sunflower, she still remembers. She'll remember forever. And I can never, ever make it right. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until you're 97 and alone and telling strangers on the internet about your regrets. Go be with your people today, right now, while there's still time, while they still want you there.